So in this worksheet, you see we're focusing on percents, and our main area of concentration with percents is going to be tax, tip, and discount for this. So let's go ahead and look at this example that they've given us. And this is all stuff that we've done earlier in the year. We're just going back in and refreshing you here. So in this example, it's saying 16% of $120. So notice what we're doing. We're turning that percent into a decimal. Anytime you want to turn a percent into a decimal, remember, you go ahead and move the decimal 2 spaces to the left. That's where they got that 1600, that .16 from. And then we're going to multiply that by the 120. So you see, if you do that, you get $19.20. Now let's use this in some of these problems here. So our first problem we'll look at is talking about tax and tip. Remember, gratuity is the same thing as tip. So say you got a $43 dinner, and you're going to do 18% gratuity or tip. So to figure out what the tip would be, first things first, you're going to do 43 times, and then take this 18% and turn it to a decimal, which would be 1800s. Now when you multiply these out to get what your tip would be, you're looking at $7.74. Now, the second example here, you've got $46 in groceries, the 2.9 or 2 9/10% sales tax. So you're going to go ahead and take 46, write it down here, multiply that by this as a decimal. Remember, it's still a percent because it's got the percent sign there, so move that decimal 2 spaces. So you have a decimal with 0.29, which would be 29 thousandths for that there, using decimal terminology. Then you come back in and multiply these out. This one actually gives you this number here. When we're talking about money, we'd round off to the nearest hundredths place. So we're looking at $1.33 for our tax. Alright, let's see. Let's jump to this one over here next. So you see you got some Nike shoes you're buying, also some headphones here. When you add that together, you get a total of $70. So we're first going to find out what the tax would be on that $70. So you got 5 5/10%. So move that decimal over 2 spaces. So to get this tax, so you're going to do 70 times, it's going to be decimal 0.55. And so when you multiply that out, you're looking at $3.85. So now that you know your tax, you can get your total that you're going to be paying there at the register by adding these two together. When you add that, you get your total of $73.85 for that total. Alright, over here for tip. On this problem here, I'll see you going to the barber, get your hair cut, 18 bucks. You're going to tip them 15%. So you're going to find the total cost. So the first thing we need to do is find what the tip actually is. So you take that $18, multiply it by 15% as a decimal, so 1500 or 0.15. And that's going to give you a $2.70 tip. So this question asks just for the tip, you could stop there, but since it wants the total cost, you're now going to add that to what you're originally paying, which was $18. So take the 18, add that $2.70 to it, and when you add that, you'll see you get your total of $20.70. So remember, this was the tip here, and this was the total. Scoot this up just a little bit here so we can check out some other problems. Alright, so down here we're talking about some discounts. Say you're trying to get this $320 TV and it's on sale for 5% off. So we've got to go back in and figure out the sale price, in other words, what we're going to pay. So you can take that $320 and multiply it by 5% as a decimal. Remember, if there are 2 spaces, you have to have a 0 there. So decimal 0 to 5, that would be 5 hundredths. So when you multiply that, what you don't have to pay would be $16. That's how much you'd be able to save in this situation here. So to figure out what you do have to pay, you take that original price, $320, subtract 16 from it, and when you do, you see you're going to end up paying $304. So this would be your sale price. So in other words, your final answer. And your final answer is $304 there. Okay? Now, when you look at this discount problem over here, this one's going to have some steps to it, and it already gives you a heads up on that. It tells you it's a multi-step problem. So let's talk about how we can break this down here. So it says you're going to buy a hat for 18 bucks and a coat for $63. They're going to give you 15% off the total cost, and you pay with 4 $20 bills. So how much change will you receive? Alright, a lot of information now. Let's break it down piece by piece. Alright, first thing I want to do is go back in and find out the total. So it's kind of like this one we just saw a minute ago, where we had these Nike shoes and these headphones that we're getting. They already got the total for us. That's going to be our first step, is finding out what the total is going to be here. So we're going to come back in and add this $18 for the hat, $18 for the hat, and the $63 for the coat. So So here we got an $81 total. Now, obviously that's not counting the coupon that we're going to factor in a minute. So right now, we're looking at $81, but when we go back in and use that coupon, you're going to multiply 15% of the decimal times the 81. So 81 times that 1,500 will give me $12.15. So that's what I don't have to pay. That's going to be how much I've saved there. So to fix, similar to the last problem here, figure out what we do have to pay. Now we'll subtract here. So we come back in and we say that $81, that's what our original total was, minus what we get our discount for. And that's going to give me $68.85. So there's my sale price. Okay, just like over here we have $304 for that sale price. Here's my sale price for this one. Now it says you pay with 4 $20 bills. So that right there, if you do 4 times 20, that's going to be $80. So we're paying with $80. So to figure out what this question is asking, which is how much change will we receive, do subtraction for your final piece here. So you're going to say 80 minus what we're going to pay after we use that coupon. So that's $68.85. And when you do that subtraction, you're left with $11.15. So therefore, when it says how much change we receive, that's what we're looking at for our final answer here. So a lot of steps to that problem, but it's the same stuff we've been doing. Okay, so just go back in, take your time with it, and use some of the same strategies we use with these other problems. Let's look at one last problem down here. It's talking about commission. So it says you're going to make 25% commission on the stuff you're selling. You see you sold lipstick $48, face wash $36. How much money did you make in commission? So first things first, just like that last problem, the first thing we needed to do was combine the two prices to get the total. Do the same thing over here. So we're going to add 48 and 36. Add those together to get $84. Alright, so now we're going to take commission on that. So you're going to go back in, the same strategy we've been using. 84 times is 25%, as a decimal would be 2,500, so 0.25. And when you do that, you're left with $21 in commissions. That's what we're looking at for our final answer here. In other words, how much money did she make in commission? So that was just a review for this video here on percents. And like I said, the biggest focus here was the tax, the tip, and the discount. Obviously, we have commission as well. So go back in and make sure you still stay sharp on these things here, because you could very well see them in the future. All right, see you.